Hi, everyone. So, my son, who's 7 years old, is a very curious guy, and he loves Star Wars. So, a few days ago, he asked me a question. Dad, what is bigger, the galaxy or the universe? And Vinay, who's 7, and I always have these dialogues. So I said, okay, let's go and ask our famous Siri. So we always ask Siri. So I said, Siri, who's bigger, galaxy or the universe? And Siri immediately comes back and says, the universe is bigger than the galaxy. Right away, without skipping a beat, Vinay asks, Siri, how many galaxies are there in the universe? Anybody know? And Siri says 1.7 times 10 to the 11 or 170 billion. And he gets that information, he goes off, he's happy. And I was just thinking, when I was 7 years old, if I had to answer that question, I was lucky enough that my parents had Encyclopedia Britannica. I'd have to go, find the particular volume, go to the index, scroll down, look at the index, figure out where that is, then go to the chapter, and if I am lucky, I'll be able to get the answer in about 45 minutes. The first question, right? And then the second question would take another 2 hours to be able to get 1.7 times 10 to the 11. And it just makes me so amazed that in less than 8,000 days, the browser is about 8,000 days old. In less than 8,000 days, we live in a world where we can get answers to some of the most difficult questions at the speed of thought. And Vinay can be able to get this so quickly in our personal lives. We live in the world of information for anybody, for any question. But when we get into our offices, when we get into work, all of us live in this world where we have so much data, but we're not able to get answers to the simplest of questions. I like to say that we're drowning in data, but we still thirst for information. First question, what is the difference between data and information? My simple way of looking at it is when data is complete, when data is clean, semantically and syntactically, when data is contextual to your need, and when data is consumable in the way you want to consume it for the analytical tool of your choice, for the analytical solution of your choice, then it becomes information. So if you're the CEO of a company, or if you're just anybody in the business and you want to answer a simple question, how many unique customers do I have? I like to use the word. If Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JPMC, says, how many unique customers do I have across my investment banking division across the world? Does he get the answer the way Vinay got his answer? It takes weeks and months because we do this thing called taking data and preparing it and munging it, that's the technical term, to get it to information before we can answer any of our simple questions. And we all know that 90% of the questions we are asking in the enterprise are simple questions. When I ask a question, how many unique customers I have, I get data. That is what is data. That doesn't give me information. What I want is information. Simple, easy, complete, clean, contextual, consumable. So we are in this world where we have massive amounts of analytical tools, visualization tools, predictive tools. We have more analytical tools than we know what to do with. And of course, we're moving from SQL to NoSQL when we're going to all these amazing technologies that are enabling technologies around going into dealing with more volume, variety, and velocities of data. But we still have this problem. This is what we deal with. We're drowning. So the question is, not just the CEO, not just Jamie Dimon is asking the question. All of us are business consumers, and all of us are seeking information, thirsting for information, so that we can solve the toughest challenges that we have. There are 1 billion knowledge workers in this world. And by the way, that is expanding. By 2030, there'll be 5 billion middle-class human beings, of which at least half of them will be knowledge workers. All these people will be the Vinays of the world, where information at the speed of thought is not just a luxury, it's just there. So in our business world, how do you go and make the people, the mere mortals like myself, the business analyst, the business user, or the general information worker, be able to get information so they can answer simple questions? This is what we are struggling with. Not the 200,000 data scientists who are using Perl or who are using wonderful R skills or whatever to be able to do their work. And by the way, like the previous speaker spoke, most of the data scientists that are highly paid and highly educated are data janitors, because 80% of the time they're spending time munging data, again, the technical term, right? And all the technical tools that we have today, the Informaticas of the world, I mean, my friend said he doesn't like SAS. I can tell you, I will say that in this day and age, when you're doing ETL joins, when you're doing VLOOKUPs, you're committing a mortal sin. That's not supposed to be the way it is. These people should not have to do any of that stuff. They should be able to get information from data, and it should be done for them. So everyone in the enterprise needs information, and there should be a way of getting them that information. Our vision is to be able to take people on a journey, because it doesn't happen overnight. And I look at it as 3 phases to the journey of information for everyone. First is to start with the world where I, the business analyst, can self-serve myself and create information out of data, regardless of the volume, variety, and velocity. And I can create it in a visual paradigm with clicks and not code. Because remember, if I'm a mere mortal, I don't know how to code. I don't know Perl. I don't know what is Python. I don't know what is pig. The only pig I know is what I eat for breakfast, right? So what we are dealing with is the first phase, where we have to create information out of our data. And as we have more and more of ourselves doing this, we get to the world where now you get to the world of guided data prep. Guided data prep is very akin to my world of the Netflix recommendation engine. Leveraging the fact that my colleague has created information out of data, has done multiple data preparation exercises, I should be able to get the recommendation saying, hey, Prakash, do you know that when you bring product data and customer data, and you're trying to join it together and bring it together, you can also use demographic information. You can get demographic data. Do you want to do that? Because Wayne, your colleague, just did that. It looks like you're doing a customer segmentation exercise. So this notion of guided data prep, where you're able to leverage, libraries, you're able to leverage recommendations based on usage, is the second phase of guided data prep. And finally, you get to the world of information for everyone, where the basic concept of data preparation should be done. You should just get information which becomes your starting point for every analytical exercise in the enterprise. And by the way, I just slipped mentioning it, but 80% of every analytical exercise in the enterprise today is centered around data preparation. Let's not forget that. So how do you get to this? What we do is first start with a set of guiding principles. When Paxata was founded, close to 5 years ago, these are the guiding principles we adopted. First, like I said before, we have to make this available for everyone in the enterprise, not just for the select few of these so-called data scientists. Second, you have to be able to support every analytical use case in the world. That is, in an enterprise, you will have ad hoc analytics tools, such as Tableau. You will have predictive tools, such as IASD, etc. You will have packaged analytical applications, and you will have predictive analytical exercises, regardless of the exercises and regardless of the tools, you should be able to have information to be consumed by every one of these. We need to remove the barriers to creating information from data. And this is very important because it's not just about the technical stuff about finding the data, like the previous speaker spoke. Absolutely right, the previous speaker spoke. Absolutely right, that it's not just about finding the data or having the data. It's being able to have a culture where the data is accessible, where the notion of the people who are enabling the consumption of information are helping the folks who are consuming the information. And that's a lot of work both about culture and transformation. Now, the fourth piece, which is really important, is the notion of security and governance with freedom and flexibility. Because business wants the freedom and flexibility to do what they need to get the business done. IT needs to ensure that there is scalability, that there is security, there is governance, efficiency for compliance and all of those things. How do you balance these two? And last, you have to be able to enable teams to work together. We have to be able to have the knowledge where when Wayne builds a data set or an answer set, as we call it, I need to be able to consume it. And his work that he has done in preparing that answer set should be consumed by me or should be leveraged by me. So the way we envision is a mere mortal, a business consumer, can start and iteratively either add, explore, clean and change, combine, shape and enrich your data, and create an answer set or information which becomes the starting point for any analytical exercise. And it shouldn't matter what format, what source the data is coming from. And this, again, should be done by everyone or should be accessible. The answer set should be accessible to everyone. So how do you actually get this done? When we started building the company, we focused on 4 enabling technologies. First, the one that's most famous these days, and it's kind of like the buzzword, AI and machine learning. Right? I like to split it up into 4 major categories of algorithmic techniques. First is supervised and unsupervised machine learning. Second, natural language processing. Third, semantic text algorithms. Fourth, computational algorithms. Now, a lot of the machine learning algorithms, a lot of the semantic text algorithms have been available for multiple years. The notion of AI, when I was in university, I was learning about AI, but we couldn't be able to use this in a highly scalable way because compute costs were significant. That's where the technology around distributed computing and what's going on within memory scale out, Spark and all Alexia and all the wonderful solutions, that enabling technologies that are coming up are really important. Leveraging scale out distributed in-memory computing is the second major enabling technology that we felt was very strong. The third is in the enterprise world, we're living in the world where we have only not just cost, but efficiency as being a key thing. And elastic cloud architectures allow us to go into a highly variable operating cost model, elastic cloud. And last but not least is user experience. If you don't have user experience, you do not have the consumption pattern for everyone. A highly scalable platform has 5 major capabilities for information. First is the notion of data integration. Second is data quality, semantic and syntactic. Third is governance. Fourth is collaboration and reuse. And fifth is enrichment. These are the 5 pillars of the Paxata Connected Information Platform, a comprehensive enterprise-grade platform, powered by all the 4 enabling technologies like we spoke about. We deliver it both on-premise and on the cloud. We have over 25 customers leveraging this in a multi-tenant Elastic Cloud environment running on AWS. And we also have the largest government, federal intelligence community customers or the financial services customers running this behind the firewall on their data lake environments. So it's multi-tenant public cloud or on-premise. It's enterprise grade. It's schema optional, algorithmic based. And last but not least, it's delivered for the business analyst, for the business consumer, and stood up by the IT organization who are the enablers of the business. This is what we're trying to drive towards for the world where finally Jamie Dimon or a CIO or a business person will be able to answer questions and get information at the speed of thought like my son Vinay. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. By the way, very smart choice of sweater color.
I learned that a long time.
That was
Thank you.
Tell us about the company a bit, and when you guys started, and
Sure. Paxata is an enterprise software company. It's based in Redwood City, California. We were founded in 2012. We launched publicly here in New York City on October 27, 2013 at Strata. We have over 50 customers. Our team is about 77 people. We serve financial services, the consumer goods and retail industry, high tech, and healthcare, and we're very proud of the fact that we serve the United States government through our partnership with In-Q-Tel, and are serving and solving some of the toughest analytical problems by delivering information to everyone that needs it.
Very cool. And you mentioned you are both on-prem and in the cloud. What is your sense of where we are in that arc? It's a question that we have quite a bit.
Every one of our large customers tell us that at the end of the day, they're going to live in hybrid environments. So they are going to have, the large enterprise customers are going to be having some workloads in the cloud, some workloads on premise. And this flexibility of being able to serve both on premise and on the cloud, on the public cloud environments is really critical. I don't think it's a question of if, but it's a question of when and how I'm going to play this. So the large financial services customers, and the reason I did not put some of the logos is some of our customers do not want us to put the logos up there. But when you look at large banks, and speaking to a chief data officer recently, our customers are saying, we're going to have Paxata running behind the firewall in the cloud, but Paxata is the product that's going to take us to the cloud because we're going to move analytical workloads to all three of the cloud platforms, AWS, Azure, and potentially Google. So we are definitely going down that path.
Great. All right. Do we have questions? It's one over there.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
My question has to do with data silos. And what I mean by that is in a lot of organizations, information works on a need-to-know basis. Mm-hmm. And so how does your software tackle that or go around that issue, especially in financial services where that's a big deal?
It's a great question, and that is why I think it's a combination of how you architect your product and how you deliver it. So when you look at Paxata, it's a multi-tenant Elastic Cloud architecture, and even if it's hosted at a bank like Citi or JP Morgan Chase, what we can do is to deploy this for a specific group of people in a multi-tenant environment so they can use it as their particular solution for their need, because you live in a regulated industry. Mortgage cannot see X, Y, and Z. However, what you need to have is underlying with all the security, the efficiency of being able to do a data lake or doing distributed file systems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How do you leverage the modern technology, but also deliver the security, scale, and governance? That's the thing that we have cracked the code on, leveraging multi-tenancy, security, all of the user rights and things like that. Security goes down all the way to the answer set, to the data source.
Great. One more question over there.
Thank you. Ooh, sorry. So obviously at these large institutions, you're dealing with a lot of inherited data quality issues. How much do you rely on the technology organization to address those, and how do you enable them to address those once identified?
It's a great question. And it depends on the organization, but here's how we are seeing customers use it. In some cases, there are data curation teams or teams in the IT organization that are preparing the data sets and getting them ready and dropping them in the library, in the Paxata library, and then allowing business analysts to be able to consume that and then to combine it with other data sources, et cetera, that they have. But in many cases, we have a world where people are saying, we're just going to take the raw data, whether it's coming from a transactional system of some data source, internal or external to organization, and dumping it in something like a distributed file system, or and then just giving the direct access to the business analyst. The power of the Paxata platform is that once you ingest the data into the system, the quality is automatically improved based on certain things. For example, if you had duplicates, one of the simplest problems that you have. Today, what do? You go and you write a big script and figure out how you're going to get the duplicates done. You do not do that. With a click, you should be able to get your duplicates. And you do it once, and the next time, it's automated for you. And more important, when you do it, then your colleague actually gets the benefit of saying, hey, do you want to do this? These are the type of things that we're driving towards. We can speak more, if you want, on how we do this exactly.
Over water.
Over drinks, or if not drinks, just.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.